Folks, when a cowboy shakes your hand, it's the law of the land.
What a character he was. Tonight, we are learning a lot more about the life of singer, author, and one-time gubernatorial candidate in the great state of Texas, Kinky Friedman. He was born in Chicago, but he grew up in Texas, down near San Antonio. And as we've reported this week, Friedman died. It happened yesterday at the age of 79. Kinky Friedman, if you didn't know, was a guy who was not afraid to push the boundaries. He also held a very special connection with our media partners over at Texas Monthly. Friedman was actually on the cover of Texas Monthly 3 different times, and he was a big contributor to the magazine. Mike Hall is well aware of that. He's been with Texas Monthly since the 90s, joining us tonight for a little bit of conversation. So you worked with Friedman. You said he was around the magazine a ton. A lot of people experienced his humor, his provocative personality. I know I did from when I met him in '04, maybe through the late 2000s. What about your experience? Tell us a little bit about that.
You know, it's funny. I mean, I worked with him a couple of times, and both times he was the opposite of the persona that he had, which was this sarcastic, in-your-face, biting person. He was a real sweet and gentle, very human person. Once I was doing a story, a death row story about a guy named Max Sofar. And Kinky had written about him 10 years before. Got to know Max really well. Max was this not very bright guy who had admitted to a murder many years before after 26 hours of interrogation. And Kinky was certain he was innocent and wrote a story about it and told Max that if he was ever executed, he would be there for him to witness it. Well, Max got cancer. And so I did a story on Max and called up Kinky, and Kinky was crying talking about this guy. This sarcastic weirdo songwriter politician. And he was just so, it really hit a spot with him. And another time, I was putting on a benefit for a mutual friend of ours, Jan Reed, who'd been shot in Mexico City in 1998. And Kinky was one of many performers. And before the show, he was walking around saying, I'm going to suck. I'm going to be terrible. You shouldn't even put me on. And I was like, Kinky, come on. You're Kinky Friedman. You're going to be fantastic. And he's like, no, I'm going to be terrible. You ought to just skip over me.
Yeah. My interactions with him.
He was fantastic.
Yeah, he was. And sorry to interrupt you, but, it goes back to the interactions I had with him. When the tally light comes on in the studio and, you're on television in the business that I'm in, he did have a persona that he projected. But I had the same somewhat experiences that you did, in those quiet moments in the commercial break or whatever. He just was a genuine dude. At the end of the day, he was just a genuine guy, and obviously he had a big heart. Hearing the story that you just shared before his work with Monthly, Friedman met some pretty big names in the music business, names like Willie Nelson, obviously a couple of guys living in Texas. What can you tell us about Friedman's country band that maybe some people don't know about? Guy had a big love of music as well.
Oh, yeah. He called his band the Texas Jew Boys, which was an homage to the Texas Playboys, because he loved country music. When he was a kid, he wanted to be a country music star. And so when he started making music in the mid-'70s, he was part of that whole progressive country bunch, like Willie and Waylon and Michael Murphy and Billy Joe Shaver. And they were a country band. They had fiddles and they you listen to those records and there's pedal steel and dobro, and sometimes there are these swinging Texas songs, these real country songs, and then other times he sounds like just these beautiful from the heart kind of soulful ballads that he did, kind of sentimental sometimes. He had this song called Ride 'em Jew Boy, which was basically about all the Jews murdered in the Holocaust. And he made it sound like a folk song that had been written in the 20s. I mean, it was just really beautiful. So he could be biting and sarcastic, and he could make fun of everybody from feminists to Christians to cowboys to himself. But he also was a genuine artist. He was a real songwriter. His singing voice. I mean, you would hear his regular voice and, with that cigar and then you listen to these records and he's just got this almost plaintive beautiful country voice. I mean, it's not what you would expect, and it's really compelling music.
I always likened it to almost kind of knowing 4 or 5 people who occupied the same body, if that makes sense, you know?
Yes.
I mean, that's the way it came across.
That.
Yeah, it came across to me that way. So his music's writing career obviously starts in the 70s, but eventually that leads to the run for governor's office here in Texas. Some people thought initially it was a joke at first. Whether or not it was, you know, that goes away with Kinky Friedman at the end of the day. But others say he was way ahead of his time and trying to dip his toe into the politics. Can you talk about the issues that Friedman highlighted during his political campaign, and I guess how serious you think that thing really did get?
Well, I think you're right. It did start off as a joke, and I'll tell you a quick little story. It began because Kinky used to, our editor was named Evan Smith, and Kinky had a monthly column. And every month he would call up Evan and they would talk about what he was going to do for his column. And one month he had no idea. And he called Evan 3 times. I don't know what to write about. Evan's like, you'll figure it out. And finally, the 3rd time, Evan got mad and said, just make something up. Say you're running for governor.
Oh, my word.
And there was a silence on the other end. And then 3 months later, Kinky's running for governor. Yeah. So it began as a joke, absolutely. But it soon turned into something more serious. I mean, a lot of stuff that Kinky did, like his music, it started off as a joke, making fun of things. But then he did it because he was serious about it, as a songwriter, as a detective novelist, and eventually as a politician. And I mean, he was completely his own guy. I mean, he supported legalizing marijuana long before we talked about it today. He supported gay marriage 9 years before the Supreme Court legalized it. But he was like really against letting illegal immigrants in. I mean, he wanted to put a bunch of Mexican generals on the border to keep the immigrants out. You know, he was not a typical politician. What he did was what Kinky thought he should do. I mean, he was a real iconoclast. He thought the way he thought. He didn't care about what other people thought, whether they were liberals or conservatives. And people took him really seriously. I mean, there was a time where everywhere you went, you saw those bumper stickers, you know, my governor's a Jewish cowboy, or
I remember those.
Kinky Friedman, why the hell not?
Yep, 12% of the vote, I think, if memory serves me correct. It was right in that neighborhood that he ended up
more than 500,000 votes. Yeah. I mean, people took Kinky seriously. He really struck a nerve with folks.
Mike, great memories, man. Can't thank you enough for sitting down and going through the memory box with us. We appreciate you, and you can read all about Kinky Friedman if you want to know some more. TexasMonthly.com. More news and weather coming your way next.